Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the characters and the art. Oh, my brain skipped just a moment there. This time, well, like a couple weeks ago, I showed a big handful of Red Circle comics, which is Archie. Fistful of the Red Circle comics superhero books from the 1980s. And here's another big fistful. And I still have some others, I think, that I haven't showed yet. I'm sure. And this is primarily the Mighty Crusaders. In that time, I showed, I think it was the first two, possibly the first three. I don't remember right offhand. Issues from that, and so this is starting with issue 3. So it's a duplicate, I think. So, and of course, the Mighty Crusaders go back to Archie's Mighty Comics line from the early 60s, featuring which featured the Shield, Jaguar, Flyman, and Flygirl, and the Shield, the Comet, Jaguar, and Web, and then they brought they were basically Archie's answer to the popularity of the Avengers and Justice League of America. And those were a lot of fun. Then in the early 80s, Archie brought them back under the Red Circle banner, which they eventually dropped and just called Archie Adventure Series. And with individual titles, and like I showed last time, was like Steel Sterling, who surprisingly is not a member of the Mighty Crusaders, at least not here. But some of the others are. But we're going to start here. We're looking at issue number 3. This is from 1983. Issue number 3. And here you see, I have destroyed the Crusaders. Now this character here is the Hangman, who had in the Golden Age had been an MLJ hero. This MLJ is what became Archie. You know, it's kind of like Timely Atlas Marvel. This is MLJ Archie Red Circle, and something happened, I don't remember, and in the 60s I think it was, he became a villain. I think something happened to his mind, and anyway. So this is and one of the major players in the Red Circle line was Rich Buckler, his writer, editor, and artist, and he was the primary artist for the first few issues of the Mighty Crusaders, which we see here. This did this cover, and of course, the problem they had was that they had two shields. They had the original shield over here, and they had Lancelot Strong, who was also called the Shield, but he was created by Joe Simon. No. Yes, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby for Archie in about 58 or 59, I've forgotten what year. And when they did a few issues of solo issues, which was reprinting those early adventures of Lancelot Strong. And I think before the end of this run, he died, was killed. I'm not positive. But it was kind of awkward with them both being called the Shield. And you can see, and the primary villain here is Brain Emperor, and they also had who was teamed up with him. What was his name? Come on, this is him right here. But Eternal. That's it. He's a little like Kang the Conqueror from Marvel comics. Ooh, Atlantis Rising. I showed a little bit from the first issue, and it started this storyline. It's nice. Here's the Hangman. Good image. Lots of good action, good and fun reading. And there's the Comet. Now, in the first couple of issues, the Comet had this costume. I guess he had lost his powers and he was relying on that old costume with the powers in that costume. But apparently here he's gotten his powers back, and he has the other costume, which actually, considering this red and black costume looks more contemporary. That was actually the original costume that the Comet wore in the Golden Age, but the original Comet died, and his brother took over, and he had this one. Anyway, and then that followed and had a backup feature in these early Crusaders comics was the original Shield, kind of bringing him back up to date, some of the backstory. And these were written by Martin L. Green, with art by Dick Ayers and Tony DeZuniga. And I've talked about Dick Ayers quite a bit, and you can kind of see his work slipping a little bit during this whole run. And but has the great ink work of Tony DeZuniga. Now, Martin L. Green, who was writing that, he eventually took over the writing duties of the Mighty Crusaders, and they no longer had the Shield backup story. Martin Green, he published a fan magazine, which I can't even remember the name of it, a fan magazine, which I had never heard of until I looked him up, in the 60s and 70s. And then he created with this was Ed Charlton, but it was a creator-owned character, Thunder Bunny with Brian Buniak. Thunder Bunny. And Martin Green was also known for his big fan collection. He had a very large collection of Shazam memorabilia, going back many years, and he was known for that stuff. So then he was writing that, and then moved on that backup. And here's Mighty Crusaders #4, still Rich Buckler cover, and Shield backup, original Shield backup. There's the web. And it's considerably different from the web from a decade later from DC's Impact line. Because here the web is an individual. And I just recently did that series of the Impact annual crossover series featuring all those Red Circle Archie characters that they had licensed. And but we skip one, go from 3, 4, 5, don't skip yet. Mighty Crusaders, the world's mightiest heroes in sacrifice play. And this gives us the origin and background of the Jaguar. Here he's been captured and stuff. And yes, Rich Buckler editing, and Carrie Burkett is doing the writing duties, with Adrian Gonzalez and Rich Buckler and DeZuniga doing the art chores. And comes out some really nice stuff. Then now we skip, because unfortunately I don't have them all, and I'm not even sure how many issues there were. It must have been 13 or 14, and I end up with 13 here. Issue number 13. This is number 7. We skip number 6. In this issue, The Untold Origin of the Jaguar. And we go back. Goes back to the first person in ancient times who became the first Jaguar was given the animal powers by some godlike being. and used the Jaguar as his avatar on Earth because he could not, to do good and stuff. Yeah, we got dinosaurs and monsters and stuff. Ooh, cool. Then we go to issue 7, and along the way, a couple of other characters have been introduced. I can't remember her name. And I'm not sure if she was also a legacy character, I think, but they just changed her quite a bit. And this was an original character, and he was kind of their scientist backup. And he was working in another story with the Black Hood, the Web. And here we see this version of the Black Hood, which is the one that I like best, as well as in his standard yellow costume. But this is very cool, made him more contemporary. And are we still here? Uh-oh. Some of our characters have been transformed into monsters, lizardy monsters. And this lady in the purple, she's some kind of mystical. I can't remember her name. It doesn't matter right now. And she is instrumental in getting it back. Then that was 8, and we skip again because I don't have an issue 9. I have the Mighty Crusaders Gridlock. Plus, it has a backup story that it has no Shield backup story, but this is a standalone story, not a superhero one, and more of on a not horror, but yeah. The Mighty Crusaders Gridlock, some kind of big traffic thing. Now Dick Ayers has taken over the art chores on the main title, main story. But he's doing his own. I think he's doing his own inks, and it's just not as nice as the others had been, because Dick Ayers was getting older, and his work was not nearly as nice as it had previously been. But I'm not bad-mouthing Dick Ayers at all. Then here, issue 11, The Mighty Crusaders. Who shall die from the wrath of the Brain Emperor? And this is Ayers and Frank Giacoia on the cover. This is Rich Margopoulos, Alan Cooperberg, and Frank Giacoia did the interior art. And it's still not quite as nice as when Rich Buckler and the others were doing, but it's still nicely done. Looks like the Vulture from Spider-Man. Some fun stuff. And nope, not yet. Then pretty soon we're going to have some backup stories featuring the Fox. Then we go to issue 12, all new Mighty Crusaders. Yeah, here's the Fox has become one of the members. And yeah, here we have backup featuring the Fox. And beware the she-fox. This introduces the female version of the Fox, which they carried over into the more recent incarnation of the Fox at Archie Comics. And the Fox goes way back to the 50s. But this isn't real interesting. Here's an ad for Mighty Crusaders action figures from apparently only available at Kmart stores. And I've never seen any of these, even secondhand. I would like to. And they had the Shield, the Comet, the Web, and the Fox. And then they had villains over here: the Sting, Brain Emperor, the Buzzard, and the Eraser. Those are the villains. More Archie adventure with Mantech. And something going on here on Liberty Island with the Statue of Liberty, and it shows. And they get associated with the government. And here you can see the Black Hood has changed to the old style yellow and black costume. And what was... Yeah, but it shows, if you see here, it has the Statue of Liberty, and this was at the time the Statue of Liberty was being refurbished. And for several years, that's what you saw all that stuff on. They even shot movies on there with that stuff. That's 12. Then we finish up the Mighty Crusaders run. I'm not sure if this is the last issue or what. This cover was by Dick Ayers and Mike Esposito, and this also has a Fox backup story. And here, right front and center, is the man who hated the Crusaders. We got the black hood, and he's more, a bit more aggressive and stuff. And you can see it's not quite. Even though I really like Dick Ayers, his work wasn't quite up to snuff any longer. It had a lot of off images, but I still love his stuff. Now, then we go to the original Shield #2. Again, this was from 1985. Now we're back to 1984. I think this is the original Shield, and we had on one. And this had Dick Ayers and Tony DeZuniga. Still written by Martin L. Green. Had some nice stuff. Then is Blue Ribbon, which was just a Blue Ribbon Comics, a generic one featuring various characters. Usually have a few issues of, because they had Steel Sterling before he had his own title. Had some of the Fly here. Had I think the Lancelot Strong's Shield, etc. But this is reprinting the original Fly stories, because it was the Fly. Later he became Fly Man, and this is when the character was a boy who transformed into the Fly before he grew up and continued doing that. And it has some nice artwork in here. I don't know who this was. Originally, it was the original stuff was like here was Jack Kirby. Huh? No, it's not Jack Kirby, but it was originally Jack Kirby. I think this might be Dick Ayers, but from way back then. Yeah, I think it is. And then we're going to finish it up here with Blue Ribbon Comics #13, and this is featuring Thunder Bunny. Yeah, Thunder Bunny, who was created by Martin L. Green and Brian Buniak, and I think all the Thunder Bunny art I've ever seen was done by Brian Buniak. And this has Thunder Bunny teaming up with the Mighty Crusaders. There had been another time when he, I think at another publisher, when he had teamed up with the Thunder Agents. And I think they did Thunder Agents, 1 or 2 issues of Thunder Agents here under this banner as well. A is for Alien, Brian Buniak. And yeah, here he is. Boom, Thunder Bunny, or with the Crusaders. And I think this is supposed to be Dukakis, because this is taking place in Boston. Yeah, he was the governor of Massachusetts at the time. And there is Thunderbird. Get him! Always some kind of misunderstanding. Thinks they're enemies. They fight each other. Fight. And then they have to team up to fight the bad guys. And that's a lot of fun. So that is all I have to share with you this time. Some cool, mostly Mighty Crusaders comics from Archie Adventure Series, Red Circle Comics, 1983, 84, 85, along in there. Some fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. And remember, comics are art.